Hi, friends. This is Staci. I am with my new friend Tony. And where are we right now, Tony?
NCTV Digital Center.
Right. So Tony is here because you are one of the hosts of a new show called
Our Amazing Kids.
Our Amazing Kids, and you just interviewed Willow, who is what, 5 years old?
5-year-old dinosaur expert.
Yeah, dinosaur expert.
Future paleontologist,
Right,
she says.
and it was just so cute to see her talk about dinosaurs. So, but really, what I want to do is focus on you because you are celebrating 103 episodes as a radio host on KVMR. What is the name of your radio program?
Well, I'm on late night, midnight to 4. The name of my show is Music for Grown Folks. Romance, memories, and smooth jazz.
And what is your radio handle?
On the radio, I'm known as Husky LePew, your soul provider.
Husky LePew, I love it, Tony. Okay, and you've also done voiceover work, and when you were in high school, there was a page on the yearbook that asked students, what do you want to be when you grow up, and what did you write on that page?
Yeah, that was 1974, June of 74 I graduated, and in the back of the yearbook they had questions, and one of the questions was, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I put, I want to be the next Wolfman Jack. And he was a great world-renowned DJ from, I think, the 70s. Right. He did a little TV.
Right. I remember Wolfman Jack because I was born in 1970, and I remember him.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is another remarkable part of your life. Is 3 years ago you were having a very different experience in life, right, Tony?
Yeah.
And just describe that, however you share that story.
Well, I was raised in Nevada since second grade, so gambling, the whole culture of gambling surrounded me. And when I got of age, I started gambling and it became a problem. But I always had enablers, my mom, my sister, friends, girlfriends. So even if I lost my money, you know, I was taken care of. And I was Air Force brat, middle income, whatever. But anyway, about 4 years ago, a little 2012, people in my family started dying. My mom, my sister, and my niece all died from breast cancer within 10 months. Also, my uncle, I lost a grandkid, and my best friend's wife, who I was their best man, she also died suddenly out of nowhere. And all in an 18-month period. And between the gambling problem, no more enablers, and not getting a chance to mourn one loss before another one came, I kind of hit rock bottom and decided I needed to get out of Nevada. So I came to Nevada County. I came to Grass Valley because I lived here for a little while in 2008. It was just so beautiful. I just thought it would be healing. But I had no idea it was so expensive to live. I came here with nothing except a few pieces of furniture and $300, which wouldn't last me 4 days if I was renting a motel. So a friend took me to Hospitality House. And that's where my ascent in life began.
And for people who are not living here, what is Hospitality House?
It's a homeless shelter. The greatest homeless shelter I can imagine, really. It was clean, it was huge. They fed you great. You had a place to shower and sleep safely and warmth. And the best thing about Hospitality House was the people that worked there, the counselors. They could help you with legal issues, with getting your Social Security together. They had a medical van that came a couple times a month. Other charities like the Lions Club bought me these glasses for free. I needed new glasses. And they just direct you to where to go if you want to correct your life. And it was just one step after another, and it all started because of a gentleman named Tom Keller. He was the housing counselor. And while I was filling out paperwork, he said, "You have a great voice. Have you ever thought about being on the radio?" And I told him about what I wrote on my yearbook. And he said, well, KVMR is a local station. They have classes once a year. And I took the class. Here I am.
When you lost that many people in 18 months, it sounds like it was maybe 6 people.
Yeah, at least.
People in your family who you're close to, and
yeah.
They're your people.
Not only that, my girlfriend moved to Europe. She's Jewish, and she went to Europe. So I had, in another sense, I lost her also, because she was no longer in my life.
Yeah.
So it was just a rough period. I had hit rock bottom, and from the way things are going now, I think I needed to.
I want to ask you, Tony, when something like that happens where you lose so many people, or just, various kinds of tragedies that we can experience, that most people don't experience something quite like that, sometimes if we find ourselves in a place like that in lives, we can look up or look out or look within and just say, why is this happening? Why is this happening? And because you've been through something that I think is so extreme and so traumatic, losing that many people, did you ever ask that question, or do you have any response to that question?
Well, when you're a compulsive gambler, why is this happening? Is a question you ask yourself a lot when you gambled away your rent or whatever. Again. But I think I drew my strength in wanting to rise up, because I felt, probably like most people, when my mom died, that I could have been a much better son. So that was kind of my inner motivation. I don't think I've ever, as many people have told my story, I don't think I've ever worded it quite like that.
And I heard you share this story at the end of the filming segment, and some of us who were in the audience watching the filming of Our Amazing Kids, the show that you're helping to host, a lot of us were just like, because you shared, just 3 years ago, you were in a homeless shelter. And you say that it makes you weep still, after all of this time. And there's just something so moving about it. I can try to describe, how it feels, but it's just, and I think it's just, there's something that people feel from you that is so authentic, that gives other people permission to also be vulnerable or go through times in life when we feel broken and we're asking, why is this happening to me? And you're such a beautiful person with so many talents. And I think my sense of the reason that you move people is because you inspire people with your story. And so if you were to ask today the same question, what do you want to be when you grow up, Tony? How would you answer that?
Younger? No, I kind of like being, my friends tease me about like my celebrity, and until now, it was always via the Husky LePew persona, just a voice in the air. But I kind of feel like that's the only way I can give back, or the best way that with my, I was a computer operator when I worked. There's not much I can do that's community spirited, but since the biggest thing is I volunteer now. It's kind of like a unspoken rule with KVMR that you do things that are for the betterment of the community, whether it's entertaining them with music or informing them, like when we had the fires not too long ago. So it's, I guess my celebrityism is just my way of giving back and telling my story. Somebody might hear it and they might have not gone through what I've gone through, but they've been at rock bottom. And that's the point. How you got there is really irrelevant. So I tell my story that I was at rock bottom with nothing, and nobody to turn to. And the helping spirit of the people of Hospitality House, the Lions Club, this volunteer organization, this person, people donate all the time. It's just, this community will raise any child if you just use the resources that are out there. So if I tell my story and they say, wow, well, maybe I could talk to a housing counselor, maybe I could this, maybe I could that. And that's the best thing I can do when I grow up, because I didn't grow up until I was 58 years old and people started dying. I was the classic Peter Pan syndrome.
Yeah.
You know, if it wasn't fun, I wouldn't do it. Like paying bills or being responsible or whatever. It was just, life was a big party. But the people in Nevada County just amaze me still after 3 years.
Thank you for sticking around in life, because I think, I mean, some of the rock bottoms I've been through, which haven't even been close to what you just described, but our own rock bottoms feel that way, very deep, very personal, very painful. And I think when we go through rock bottoms like that, it can be tempting to say, maybe I don't need to stick around for all of this pain. But I want to thank you for sticking around, Tony, because I think maybe even beyond your imagination or what you're able to perceive, you are moving people, you are helping people, and I sense that people see themselves in you because your story is so relatable to the human experience of, like, sometimes it's just hard. And I think that people also feel that they want to be like you in terms of, you have grown up out of some of the worst circumstances, some by your own creation and some just by the flow of your life. And I think you're here to continue to do some beautiful, powerful things in life. So thank you,
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
For sharing the gift of you with all of us. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to share before we finish up?
Well, I was a functioning addict, addicted to gambling. And there's a lot of functioning addicts out there. And with me, it was all the people dying that kicked me over the edge where I was no longer functioning. But anybody can recover from anything, I believe, if they've, like, shown or given a hand. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do now. I'm far from perfect. I'm no angel. And there's a lot of things I'd still like to change about myself, but I do feel like I'm a much better person just from being part of the Nevada County community. So.
Thank you, Tony. He is our radio friend, aka Husky Le Pew.
Signing off. Your sole provider.